Holly, and I'm here with my summer TBR, and I just started talking, so of course the Murphy cat wants to come and visit me. Just nice. Yesterday he was very angry with me. No cuddles, no kisses, nothing. Anyway, so I am here with my summer TBR. So I do seasonal TBRs of 5 books that I try to read during that season. And I finished Dragonfly and Amber back in May, so that means that one is no longer on the seasonal TBR. So the way I do my seasonal TBR is I pick one nonfiction book, one book that's been on my TBR for a really long time that if I don't read it, it gets unhauled, or if I don't like it, it gets unhauled, and then 3 other books. I'm actually kind of running out of like older books, which is primarily what I try to put on here. So I may end up switching in fall or winter to maybe like a reread TBR, because I do like rereading, but sometimes I feel like it's cutting into my like physical TBR, and my physical TBR is under 50 books, which I think is perfectly acceptable, especially because I'm a multi-genre reader. So I have like a lot of YA for when I'm in a YA mood. I have some romance. Usually if I buy a romance novel, I'm reading it right away. So it's just stuff like that. And then I usually end up getting a ton of books for Christmas and my birthday, and then that kind of like bulks out my TBR. But anyways, on to this one. So the first one is potentially, like, hopefully I'll show it and nobody will be like angry at me, but is The Joy of Hate by Greg Gutfeld. Greg is like a libertarian. I don't agree with everything that he says, but I generally do think that he is funny. So I have read one of his books before. I've had this for a long time, so I would like to read it. I'm gonna see if my library has an audiobook, because I prefer my nonfiction as audiobooks. Also, if you have any nonfiction recommendations, let me know, because I don't have any more. I'm particularly interested in like history, potentially politics, or like biographies of like politicians. Could be interesting and stuff. So if you have any recommendations, especially if they are audiobooks, or if there's audiobooks of them, let me know. And then the book that's been on my TBR for a really long time, I've had this since my senior year of high school, which was 2006 to 2007, and that is The Princess Bride, by William Goldman, not by whatever. I have never read this. I've seen the movie so many times. I think I tried starting to read this one time and I never actually like committed. I do think it's a little different. I don't know. Well, that has some like really musty book smell. So this is the book, and I actually am pretty sure I basically stole this from somebody, because like she lent it to me and I never gave it back, and then like we went to college and then we never talked again. So sorry. Now on to the other 3 books. So 2 of these have been on my TBR for a little while. The first one is super waterlogged. I bought it at a library book sale, and honestly, if I don't read this, this might get unhauled as well, because it has been there for a long time, and that's Good in Bed by Jennifer Weiner. I'm not sure how she says her name. I think this is like a romance slash chick litty book. It is about a girl who is like plus size, which I think is interesting. I think the main reason I haven't read this is because it's waterlogged. Like, I just feel like it's gonna be hard to read. And I think it is kind of chick litty, which I haven't read in a long time, but I used to read a lot. I don't know. So I figured I would give that a try. And then another one that's been on here for a couple years is The Last Little Blue Envelope by Maureen Johnson. And the main reason I haven't read this is because I can't decide if I should reread 13 Little Blue Envelopes first, because I read that, I mean, college maybe, wait, hold on. I don't think it's old enough to have been when I was in high school. It had to have been college. Yeah, because this was 2011, so probably college I read 13 Little Blue Envelopes. Oh, it was. I remember reading it in the airport going back to school. Okay, so yes, it was. So I can't like decide. If you have any ideas, let me know. I should be able to get it from the library because I don't own, that's the other thing, is I don't own 13 Little Blue Envelopes. So I don't know, but it is short. So, and I figured this would be like a fun summer read. And then the last one is actually a relatively new release. It came out in January, I believe. But I'm telling you guys, I'm like scraping. And a lot of things are series, and I typically try not to put series on here. I have done it before with, so is Say You'll Remember Me by Katie McGarry. I had pre-ordered this, and I just haven't read it. I haven't been in too much of a YA mood, which I think is a huge part of why I haven't picked it up. But I definitely want to give this a read. I don't even know what it's about. I just bought it because it was Katie McGarry, and her books have never let me down. And that is the summer TBR. If you have any questions, suggestions, comments, anything like that, feel free to leave them down below. And thank you so much for watching. Bye!